My name is Troy Barton, and I will be telling you guys about the biomechanics of a jump shot. During the sport of basketball, the most important part of the game is to put the basketball in the hoop. You can score a basketball a couple of ways, which include layups, dunks, or jump shot. Over the years, the game has developed into a lot of players being able to shoot the basketball from 15 feet or farther to score a point. The purpose of the jump shot is to improve the accuracy of your jump shot when you are shooting from farther distances. The mechanics that help you improve your jump shot rely on the amount of force you exert when you push off the ground, the amount of force you use when the ball leaves your hand, and the lever you use to project the ball at a certain angle. Learning to perfect these mechanics will ensure your chances of the best jump shot that with the best accuracy. Let's begin with force. Because in order to have a good jump shot, you have to have a solid base with your feet set for your jump shot to get off the ground to elevate higher than your opponent to make the shot harder to defend. It also helps give a natural power to the shot for distance. The definition of force is the strength energy as an attribute for physical action or movement. And the formula, as seen on the slide, will be F, which is force, equals mass times acceleration. In the game of basketball, you are constantly moving, so depending on how fast you're going and the amount of force you exert when you lower your center of gravity and push yourself off the ground, the more force you exert, the higher you would jump off the ground, and the higher your jump would better your chances from making it from a farther distance. Another factor in force is the amount of force you exert when you release the ball from your hands at the apex of the jump. A jump shot is essentially supposed to be one fluid motion, starting with the bending and explosion through the legs to the end of the fingertips to create a natural rotation. The best way to create this natural rotation, which would be using the Magnus effect to put a spin on the ball to ensure a straight shot. With a right-handed shooter, the shooting is applied force to the left side with their guide hand, and the airflow is producing force on the right, and by placing the other hand on the bottom and dropping them down, creates a back spin on the ball, causing the ball to rotate in a clockwise fashion. The airflow syncs up with the rotation, pushing the air around the ball and down, meaning the bottom of the ball is moving against the airflow and the top is moving with the airflow, which will then move the air against the ball, will stop it abruptly and send the ball upwards, causing an arc. Next, I bring you to the lever system. A lever is the system that contains three components, which are the fulcrum or axis around which the lever rotates, a force arm, which is measured by the distance between the fulcrum and where the force is applied. There are three class levers, but the one particularly dealing with the jump shot is the third class lever. There are two third class levers in a jump shot. The first one has the fulcrum in the elbow joint. The effort is stretched across the triceps muscle, and the load will be the ball. The second third class lever in the jump shot will have the fulcrum in the wrist, the effort in the tendon from the forearm to the hand, and the load as the ball again. In order to successfully pull this off, the tricep moves from an eccentric contraction to a concentric contraction once the arm has been straightened at the apex of the jump to release the ball. The second lever is used mainly for accuracy and increasing the projection angle, which I will go over in the next slide. This lever will allow you to guide and roll the ball off the middle and index finger as the shot is completed. The best ways to control this lever is to make sure that the elbow and the wrist extend in a straight line to the basket, and your shooting hand should line up with the rim. Also, the ball should come off the ball with a backspin to ensure a better shot. Now, anybody can just shoot the basketball, but they can't shoot it efficiently because they may not understand how the projection angle of the shot is important on the accuracy of the shot. When the angle is greater, the object gains a greater vertical height but lesser range. But when the angle of the projection is less, the vertical velocity decreases and the range increases. The typical angle you want to release the ball from would be 50 to 70 degrees from mid to long range to make a jump shot. When a shooter is closer to the basket, they can release the ball at a higher angle to increase the entry, but this will require more power from the third lever, or it would require more of a backspin from the third level of the where the wrist is the fulcrum. Shooting the basketball using the jump shot is a growing skill in the basketball world. And if you are trying to teach someone how to shoot or trying to be a better shooter yourself, make sure you take all of the principles we talked about in consideration. The most important part of a jump shot, in my opinion, will be the force you exert when you jump off the ground and when the ball is released from your hand. The more force you exert off the ground, the better your chances are of hitting the shot from a greater distance. Most people can hear this when they tell you when your shot is flat and they tell you that you got to use more legs. But in order to ensure the best accuracy, you will have to make sure you have the right projection angle on the shot to give the ball a better entry angle when entering the hoop. The optimal angle again to shoot from when performing a jump shot will be right around 50 to 70 degrees. And don't forget to make sure that your shooting hand is on level with the rim.